the most fundamental human right, without which all other rights become meaningless. By denying the humanity of the unborn child, the RH Bill denies him the equal protection of the law. Indeed, by insisting that human life begins at implantation, the RH Bill allows, encourages, promotes the use, manufacture, procurement, and distribution of abortifacients under the pretext that these are modern, artificial family planning methods and supplies and devices. By declaring that the state shall promote without bias all modern and natural methods of family planning that are medically safe, legal, and effective, ignoring that the artificial family planning involves increased risk of cancer, stroke, etc., the right of equal protection is violated. Under Republic Act number 9346, which was passed on June 24, 2006, the death penalty was prohibited. The death penalty was removed because we believe that in our present legal environment, where the rich can afford competent legal defense, whereas the poor are deprived of the equal chance to do so, it constituted cruel and unusual punishment. We also believe that the death penalty forecloses any chance that a person can reform. Equally important, in our imperfect legal system, where mistakes may be committed despite the safeguards for human rights, the removal of the death penalty is at bottom a question of justice, because it may well be that a person is innocent of the offense for which he was convicted. Can there be anyone more innocent than the unborn? Yet the RH Bill condemns him to death without due process, without any trial, without any evidence, other than that he is alive. The RH Bill violates the sanctity of family life and the protection due to family as a basic autonomous social institution and as the foundation of the nation. The Constitution provides the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. It shall equally protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception. The natural and primary right and duty of parents in the rearing of the youth for civic efficiency and the development of their moral character shall receive the support of the government. When we say that the state recognizes the family as a basic autonomous social institution, what does this mean? This means that the state should not and must not intrude on matters which are intimately connected with the family. And this includes the matter of educating the children, giving them their sense of moral values, and even the size of the family. On this it has been said, the child is not a mere creature of the state. The liberty of parents and guardians includes the right to direct the upbringing and education of children under their control. Those who nurture him and direct his destiny have the right, coupled with the high duty, to recognize and prepare him for additional obligations. The state imposes a limitation upon itself as it defers to parents on the moral development and upbringing of their children. This development can never be more true than in sex, which is closely linked to morality. By virtue of this principle of subsidiarity, the state and society must promote the primacy of the family within the wide field of education, including sexual education. The RH Bill violates the right of families or family planning associations to participate in the planning and implementation of the policies affecting them. The Constitution provides that the state recognizes the Filipino family as the foundation of the nation, and accordingly it shall strengthen and protect its solidarity and actively promote its total development. The state shall defend the right of spouses to found a family in accordance with their religious convictions and the demands of responsible parenthood. What do we find in the RH bill? In Section 17, there is mention of the ideal family size. The state shall assist couples, parents, and individuals, so says the bill, to achieve their desired family size within the context of responsible parenthood for sustainable development and encourage them to have 2 children as the ideal family size. Attaining the ideal family size is neither mandatory nor compulsory, nor punitive action shall be imposed on